make fun of people. Do we?
Yeah, sometimes.
Do we?
Sometimes.
See, here's the thing. As the show has gone on more and more, it started off just as us, telling dirty jokes and just kind of being sophomoric because that's what you do when you don't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
As we do this show more and more, we really have had to hammer down what do we want this show to be. Now, I'm asking you moving forward, is this a show that makes fun of people? We always say we don't body shame, but it's usually after I've said something controversial.
Yes. Normally we do it through the means of satire, but there are some people out there.
Satire, baby.
Like we do douche of the week. There are some people out there that I think it's appropriate to call them out. We don't make fun of people's looks. We don't make fun of people. We make fun of people's decisions.
Yeah, I was going to say, what if you get just a terrible haircut? That's your choice.
Yep.
Can I make fun of that?
I mean, yeah, for me, yes.
All right, good, because I hate it, Tyler.
Oh,
just terrible.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't see where that was going.
Oh, you thought that was hypothetical?
Oh.
No, directly pointed at you, and I'm sorry.
It's just the way my face looks.
Could you fix that?
Yeah, no.
I don't think I'm going to be able to finish the show until you fix that.
Blech.
But my situation is I genuinely don't want to be somebody who makes fun. I want to be what we're telling everybody else to be, but sometimes we get lost and we go for the joke. With all that being said, it's put me in a position of I don't know how to do the cold open this week. Spotify recommends new artists to you, and I don't understand specifically how the algorithm works, but they say, hey, you may like this. This week, they did that to me with, please open up your email that I sent to you, and please tell the audience this artist's name and look.
As this loads, I just want to say how excited I am for whatever this is.
I'm glad you said loads.
Miss Tiddy.
Could you spell that?
Tiddy. Miss MISS Tiddy. TIDDY.
Because I think we all know there is a big difference between a TITTIE, a titty, and a titty.
Yeah.
Right.
She looks intense.
She does look intense.
That's an intense, smoldering look she has going on.
She does, and here's the thing.
And she looks like she's wearing fur. Boo! Fur! Fur is murder!
Further. I appreciate you taking care of
now
that.
it's just adorable. Thanks a lot.
Do it more so we can say further. So I saw her name, I saw her look, and I was intrigued.
Of course.
Now, perhaps Miss Tiddy is a new artist. It seems that way. She only has 2 songs out right now.
Okay.
And I wanted to share this with the show, but I didn't want to be derogatory, or you know what? Maybe I'm tipping my hand. Let me just introduce you to Miss Tiddy in her own words.
Oh.
I like pussy, I like dick, I'm bisexual, don't give a shit.
So that's the intro to Miss Tiddy.
Okay. I mean, that is the intro that you have deemed appropriate for us.
Yeah.
She didn't have a say in this.
She didn't respond to any of my calls, Tyler.
Oh, what the hell, you bitch!
Excuse me. Please, a friend of the show, Miss Tiddy. Now,
Love you,
here
girl.
is the thing, because there is a fledgling artist who is doing what they love, and who the F am I to talk shit to anybody doing what they love? You agree with that?
Ryan Menendez. You are Ryan Menendez. That is your bag, baby.
And that is what upsets me. The mirror that Miss Tiddy has presented. So I just thought this was something that would be interesting. And I wonder if when Miss Tiddy makes music where she discusses herself in these terms.
I'm not skinny, I'm chunky, funky, sit in your face, you a CPR dummy.
I wonder
Good lyrics.
if she knows that she's setting herself up in a place to be criticized. And I am not criticizing her, nor have I criticized her, have I?
No, but I think anybody who puts themselves in the spotlight of fame is putting themselves in a place to be mocked. It doesn't matter. I think Adele lost a whole shitload of weight. She looks amazing and got ripped for it.
Yeah.
Ripped for losing weight.
Listen, just like Jonah Hill, we want heavy Adele,
it's ridiculous.
Jonah Hill, you're less funny when you're thin, okay?
That's so ridiculous.
Like a tiny Chris Farley. Get the out of here.
Oh,
I'm totally joking
Farley.
around. I'm just joking around. Everybody
Chris Farley.
can be the weight that they want to be.
Of course.
So, so I wanted to share this with the Haitian Army. I wanted to talk about it, but I didn't want to be mean. So, again, Miss Tiddy from another track. Let's get to know her a little bit more.
Please.
I'm fluid, I'll be anything you wanna be. Call me daddy or mommy, give you milky.
That I don't know what it is, but that did something for me.
Hold on a second. Let's hear that one more time because there's a lot to unpack there.
I'm fluid, I'll be anything you wanna be. Call me daddy or mommy, give you milky.
I like the baby.
Oh, I just heard that the first time.
The baby right there at the end.
Wah.
Man, I should have isolated that sound
You
on its own.
should've.
See, I'm getting better at this. We're gonna get better at this. So again, a young fledgling
Hold on,
artist.
if I may,
Sure.
for our audience, because we get to edit after this, let's just isolate that sound and drop it in right here.
Wah! And finally, just because I would love to interview Miss Tiddy because, again, you're being very controversial. You're putting yourself out there and in some instances, insulting your audience.
See you staring at me, wanna suck my tits. Turn the other way, I don't want your micro dick.
Oh,
I know.
but it's a strong, beautiful micro dick.
It's
Why?
real-
What's wrong with that?
It's thick on the bottom. Is a micro dick a real thing?
Yeah,
It is a
yeah.
micro
It's
thing.
it's
Baby is dickiest.
it's a medical condition. Yes,
No, it's not. It's a punchline.
but it's an actual thing.
If you have a micro dick, shut this off. We don't want
You're
you.
doing it right now.
What are you talking about?
You're body shaming.
See, this is what I'm doing. This is the whole thing. I get sucked into it, and I'm sorry. And
You and your big old schlong making fun of micro penises.
Tyler, this isn't the
It's got
right.
a huge schlong.
That's it. We call it a hog. And so again, I just want to hear this one more time.
See you staring at me, wanna suck my tits. Turn the other way, I don't want your micro dick.
Oh, that hurts. And the whole thing is, I just found myself just thinking, why would you, insult your audience? Why would you go to such sophomoric jokes? How do you think that this is entertainment? And are you ready to be made fun of? And while I'm rushed with these thoughts, this came to my mind.
Those guys.
What's new, pussy toot? Whoa, whoa, whoa. What's new, pussy toot? Whoa, whoa, whoa.
You hate.
Those are some serious toots you got going.
So,
Those guys you hate.
It being played in, we drop those in normally afterwards.
Yeah.
It being played in real time on camera is soul crushing.
it's really weird. And so I thought, you know what? A young artist who insults her audience, who just relies on potty talk and bathroom humor.
And her body.
We love you very much, Miss Tiddy. Welcome to the Haitian Army. When it comes to living in glass houses, my name is Ryan.
And my name is Tyler.
And we are those guys you hate.
Those guys you hate.
Salutations, my Haitians, and welcome to the show that knows what you did last summer. To my left, the indefensible Mr. Tyler Menendez. Tyler, how you been being?
I've yet to find a lawyer that will take my case.
No, absolutely
It's
not.
unfortunate.
I mean, dude, I've seen the paperwork, and Tyler, you're a huge load.
Thank you. I need a consigliere, as they say.
Consigliere. Well, we'll see what we could do for you.
I'm doing good today, Ryan. I'm good. I'm excited. Life is good from what they tell me. How are you?
Do you actually mean any of that?
I do to a certain extent.
Let's
Life,
not depression index it, but do you mean what you're saying?
yes, I think life is good overall.
Okay. Are you not just saying that because life is paying you to? On today's show, Angry Birds more important than the television? I think so.
And later on today's show, we're going to discuss the continued backslide that democracy across the world has gone through these past couple of years.
I got to tell you, there are very few things I love more than a good old-fashioned backslide, Tyler. I'm really
a
into that.
democratic backslide, baby.
A wet backslide.
Okay.
What? What?
You know what?
You can't mix that together? Now I can't say a series of words because I'm worried about getting canceled?
You know what? In our democracy, you can have all the wet backslides you want. Okay?
You know what? When you say it, it does sound a bit controversial. Please knock that off. Speaking of not being mean, which I genuinely mean what it is that I'm talking about. We're constantly on a razor's edge here of trying to be satirical satyrants. And be kind and really put forth the vibe that we actually want to bring to the show. We want to be funny, but we don't want to be mean. You know what I mean?
Well, I think a lot of people, I think we're very good at the tone in which we use jokes and the tone in which we're serious. And I think people can discern between the two.
I hope so, because I tell a lot of
Me
people
too.
about this show, and sometimes
yeah.
I'm worried about what the first thing they hear is.
Wow, our bartender is a hateful man.
Oh my God, why did he do that to Miss Tiddy? Now, speaking of being nice and never wanting to like upset someone.
I'm actually going to go and listen to her music. That interested me.
Did it?
It really did.
Well,
I liked it.
I hate to tell you this, Tyler, but you basically have already listened to all of it that's on Spotify.
That's fine.
How, if we're going to be nice, am I ever going to, we have the, it's kind of gay sound effect.
Yes.
We have the kook alert. I would like to integrate this because I feel like there's plenty of space for it, but how would we specifically use it? What do you think about that? Like, where can I specifically tell someone to fook oof?
That's a great one. I think when it comes to a point that you severely disagree with, telling somebody to fuck off.
Tyler, I think we could use it a lot more liberally, so I'm going to have to tell you right now.
All right.
Now, there is something that needs to be cleared up from last show. Last show, we dealt with a lot of race issues. It's something that resounded with me because of, I guess I have some sort of weird hang up with that. Like somebody not believing me that I'm not racist. I don't know how that got stuck with me, not just on the show, but with what happened to me in my life. I really had to come to terms with some things here.
Well, it's very, it's always weird, and we've made this joke plenty throughout our lives. It's always strange when somebody has to specify, I'm not racist, I'm the least racist person in the world. That person usually has some shit going on.
Now, I'm with you, but the thing is, I'm not being defensive, you're being defensive. I didn't start off with that.
Oh.
$5. I didn't start off with that. I made a joke assuming everyone knew I wasn't racist, and then I felt defensive for myself.
Yeah.
So,
do you think the defensiveness made it worse for you? Do you think if you would have just laughed at yourself and gone about your business, it would have been fine?
Does defensiveness ever make it better?
Touche.
Yes. So I'm going to nail you down right here so that I know moving forward. And this is not a joke. This is not a scheme. I really want to know because you're in a lot of ways the more sensible one on this show.
Which is scary.
Tyler, on this show, we support Black Pride, yes?
Sure. Yeah. Again, that's another one of those things where neither of us is black, so the very fact that we have to specify a particular group of people, their pride, it's weird.
But the fact that you're braying back against it is very strange.
I'm wondering what you're doing right now.
But I feel like you're doing the same thing as when somebody says Black Lives Matter. I feel like you're all lives mattering me right now.
Not at all. I'm just wondering.
Do we support Black Pride? Yes?
We support all pride. Yes.
Oh, see, you're literally doing it. I'm gonna nail you down on this.
And I guess that's unfair because we don't celebrate KKK pride.
Okay.
And we don't celebrate hateful pride.
Please try to stay on course.
You're
here.
absolutely right. I'm just talking it out with myself.
Do we support Black Pride?
Yes.
Why is it so hard to get you to say that?
I like arguing with you.
All right, Tyler. Do we, those guys you hate on this show, support gay pride?
Yes.
Okay, that one came a lot easier.
Well, I see the road that we're on now, so I'll just play along.
Support white pride?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Oh, that's Tyler speaking for himself. I do not. I'm deeply, deeply ashamed of being white. No, I'm sad. I wish I was born a different race. I'm doing the best with the cards that God dealt me.
I want to go through their pain. I want to be a different color.
I'm sorry that this happened, and how can I make it up to you?
So you're apologizing for your skin color?
Sure. if that's okay with everyone. If not, then I'm not.
Are you trying to bump up our numbers in India? Is that what's happening? We're not that white, guys.
These cameras aren't on, are they?
Oh, boy.
All right, Tyler. Oh, let's all calm down. That got hot. Woo!
Are you trying to catfish the country of India?
That got tense there for a minute, and I don't know why. Now, Tyler, as I've discussed on this show, I am new to a relationship, and I know nobody really cares about that, but the reason that I bring it up is much like I bring up being a cheater in the past. I think it's interesting. It presents a lot of different angles of things that we could talk about, and a lot of them I think are useful to the people listening because a lot of people are in relationships coming into one, going out of one. Relationships are what make up life. So now a reformed cheater going into a real relationship, I think presents a lot of interesting topics. What's your take on that?
Yeah, absolutely. It's like any other situation when you've already been through it and then you go into it again, a lot of times you're far more prepared for it that time.
And you're maturing and you're learning from your experiences.
Unless you don't. There are people out there who will just remain stuck in their shit no matter what is presented to them.
Well, if you believe in the cosmic, karmic bullshit that isn't true that I believe in, you keep taking the same tests until you pass.
Or die.
Yeah. Which is passing. That's a passing.
Good point.
There you go.
Good point. You're on fire today with these good points.
Only my urethra. Yeah, I know. Seriously, if there's any doctors out there, please.
Look in the camera right now and tell me what this is.
When we go on our break, I'm going to put my pee hole up to the camera. I am very worried. Speaking of pee holes, the way, Tyler, this is a segue unlike you have ever seen.
Where's the sounder?
Speaking of segues, speaking of pee holes, what this show is, and you will know this, what I like to do, and what happened last night at my bar job, I like to find an interesting subject and ask individuals as they come up to collect their drinks. It's really kind of the way that I see this show. I come up with something I think is interesting, just fart it out into the universe and hope that we get some good responses.
Absolutely. I would, again, we just get tied down by the nomenclature. I would say that while you say you discuss it with individuals, I would say you harass people around you with it.
Sure.
You will stand your ground and you will ask the question 1,000 times, not until you get an answer, but until you get the answer you want.
Well, the one that I desire.
Yes.
No, well, I like to know where people stand on these things. As a matter of fact, the first topic ever discussed on this show, how many 8-year-olds could you beat up at once, is one of these things.
I think my number has gone up since the beginning of this show.
Well, you're putting on a lot of fast twitch muscle fiber, and that's
buddy.
just the way that it goes. Kids of Thailand, you've been warned. Bangkok is going to get a whole new definition, Tyler.
You just can't. You just mentioned kids and then had to go right to Bangkok.
Two different subjects.
Yeah, sure.
Two different subjects.
Right.
But I don't think it's illegal over there. So, not that I want to. I'm saying for other people. Isn't that why people go to Bangkok? To Bangkok?
He's towing the line, ladies and gentlemen. This is him towing the line.
Or fingering, because they look like toes.
Come on!
Look, see that?
Yeah, they are
toe fingers. Yeah, look at that thumb. Okay, so last night the question was, I was asking everybody about queefing, like what their take on queefing was. Did it embarrass you? Is it something you tried to, do you just blow right by it, no pun intended? Do you sink into it, no pun intended? What's your feelings on queefing?
Did you ask only women or did you ask everybody?
No, I asked everybody, but I actually have come up with something more important. Other than that bullshit.
I'm neutral to it. It's not something that I find attractive.
All right, we're here now, Tyler. What's your take on queefing?
I'm neutral to it.
You say find attractive? That's not the question I was asking. I was saying, are you mortified by it, or do you just not act like it didn't happen?
Well, certain people like it.
I like
that.
it.
There you go.
It's me. I like it.
I will.
Yeah.
No, you just keep going. It's like anything else. It's all part of sex.
Well,
there's noises and different sounds and whatnot.
There are people who I spoke to that it just kills them dead in their tracks.
Yeah.
They just wither up and squeak one out.
Yeah, it's a mental thing. It's like me with going to the bathroom in public. My body shuts it down.
Yeah, I get it. And that's a psychological thing. For me, queefing makes me feel like a big man. You know what I'm saying? Big man. Air can't hold me down, but that's bullshit, and that's not even
neither here nor there.
That's neither here nor there. This is a freaking podcast. People are putting their time into this thing.
And I don't
hear about queefing.
I don't know why they are. I don't know why you are listening to this.
So the real relationship issue that I want to talk about here on this show, much like I said that my girlfriend wants us to fart in front of each other, which is just a mouth queef.
What?
which is just a butt queef.
What kind of farting are you doing?
She's been farting into my mouth, Tyler.
Okay.
I can't tell if I'm into it.
I'm going to drop you both off in the Everglades. Let some alligators eat you.
The alligators will ring the doorbell and be like, hey, you dropped this.
Good God, man.
I'm so sorry. Forgive me. This whole show has just been nothing but a series of mouth queefs, Tyler.
Woo!
I am experiencing something in this relationship that I have never experienced before, and that's totally true.
Happiness?
A penis. Yes, maybe.
It pisses me off.
Does it?
Oh, I hate it.
Good. That makes me even happier, Tyler.
When Ryan is in a relationship, when it's not burning down around the edges at all times, it's just weird. I don't know. Is the sun going to rise tomorrow? Am I going to live past today? Who knows?
I've grown up a little bit, Tyler. Passive aggressive Anthony used to call me the Ted Bundy of relationships.
That's true.
No,
It's a great nickname.
Wouldn't go great on a business card, but it really nailed me down to who I was.
Yes.
I think some of my maturity and knowing the grass isn't always greener is making me more patient. And also, you know, as I wither and die in my old age, I have no testosterone, which I think was really pushing me forward on some of my diabolical schemes.
Oh, they got some stuff for that now. So just go get an injection in your butt.
So
Not a gay joke.
I'm on my way. So just finally, because this has gone on way too long.
Yes.
This is what I've experienced that I've never experienced before. What is the best thing about morning sex? And when I say morning sex, I'm talking about before you've even gotten out of bed. What is the best thing about morning sex?
You're asking me my opinion?
Sure.
Or is there
I'm leading up to something, but I'm trying to make this interactive.
Well, I appreciate that. There's something about just waking up. You're full of energy. You've just gotten plenty of rest.
You got morning wood.
You got morning wood. You're basically good to go. And you're filled with all those chemicals that's needed for the act.
Oh,
and you haven't been tired out by the day yet.
And you know what? It's funny that you said that. I am a much bigger fan of daytime sex
twice in one day
than I am nighttime sex because of that energy. I can see everything. I'm a very visual person. I like daytime sex, and I also have a severe drinking problem. So by the end of the night, I'm just abusive and hateful.
Yeah.
So here's the one thing that
he means to his penis.
Sure. Oh, sure. And anyone around it. Here's the thing that I'm going to say that I think may be outrageous to others, perhaps you. My favorite thing about morning sex up until this point was you've got morning breath, which means we can't even look at each other. We both got to face the same direction. So I'm not blasting you in the face with my red hot magma of breath.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Everything's kind of been sitting there for 8 hours. So it's been stewing, as it were. And the mouth is like one of the worst places there is.
You're exactly right. You're exactly right. In this relationship that I am in, full out making out before we've brushed our teeth. And I'm talking about saliva and the whole fucking deal. What is your face tells a novel of feelings.
Well, I'm just so glad we get to have this conversation.
I'm telling you, like dripping down our face. What is your take on that, Tyler?
I think you're gross.
Do you think I'm gross? Having nothing to do with the teeth brush.
Nothing. I don't even care about that. You're just gross. Why are you even talking about this?
Because I think
you must respect your relationship so much.
A lot of people would be disgusted by that. I think it's sweet.
Sure, buddy.
You have nothing on this. It's kind of like the same way that I talked about her wanting me to fart in front of her. I thought that it would, churn something up inside of the listener. Where they're like, I can't believe you fart in front of each other. Or, I can't believe you guys don't fart in front of each other. It's like using somebody's toothbrush. I'd imagine it churns your soil as it is.
You just took it from me. I was going to bring up certain people use another person's toothbrush.
Do you do that?
I would rather shave a toothbrush down into a shiv and stab myself in the throat multiple times than put somebody else's germ-infested toothbrush in my own mouth.
Okay, now, and perhaps I'm getting too personal here, but is it safe for me to assume that you will put your tongue in another person's butthole?
That is true.
Okay, so where does the logic? If I'm putting my tongue in your butthole, we could share molars.
It's a mental thing,
Yes, it is.
because I'm getting enjoyment out of that butthole thing. You using my toothbrush, I just see it as an invasion of privacy.
It's a utilitarian. What if I don't have a toothbrush?
You can touch my butt. Then you got to let your teeth rot.
Okay, and I just think that that's interesting.
Yes.
When I share a toothbrush with somebody else, it makes me happy, Tyler.
Yeah, you're gross.
And we'll talk about it on the Depression Index. Now, what the Depression Index is a machine that I built with my canines, and we crank it up to let you know how down we are. Tyler, how are you feeling this week, buddy? And did you take your antidepressants?
7 days, Ryan.
Are you? Wait a minute. Are you serious?
7 days.
It's never happened before. Hold on 1 second.
Yes, it has.
Not on this show.
Yes, it has.
Never on this show. I am giving you some. We're going to heights that we have never been. Whoa! Three shimmy shakes for my little boy.
Whoa!
Fantastic, Tyler. What you got going on this week, dog?
Ryan.
And just a heads up, we're not celebrating people taking medicine. We are saying if you need psychotropic medicine, please stay consistent because that's the only way that it works. Take care of society by taking care of yourself.
We are celebrating being responsible with medication.
How about that?
If you are on it. Ryan, for session 96, my theme is do not overdo it. I talked about this recently a couple weeks ago. Excuse me, I talked about this a few weeks ago about lighten up. Just try to enjoy yourself, try to take it easy. With this one, don't overdo it. I recently took a task. I put a task on my own shoulders and realized when I got about 5 hours into it, I was way over my head.
What task was this? Do you want to share it?
Because it's expensive, wanted to on my own add subtitles to our videos.
Oh, yeah. When you told me that, I was like, oh, that's awesome. But I was thinking, you're a loon.
Yeah. I put literal hours into this task, saved it, went to bed, came back the next day, and realized I had only done 7 minutes of an hour-and-a-half long video.
Wait a minute. So you spent 5 hours doing 7 minutes?
7 minutes of text in our video. That's how much we talk.
Oh yeah.
And I'm
verbose.
I'm a pretty fast typer.
I know. With your 2 pointer fingers, right?
Yeah.
Tyler types like a caveman, but like a really smart caveman.
Pretty fast.
Yeah.
So I undertook this task and I sat back down in my chair and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna knock this out. I realized how much I had left to go and I went, nope.
Bye-bye.
So,
I quit the show.
So deleting all of that text after I had typed it all was shitty, but it was realizing that I'm proud of myself for not forcing myself to finish this task that I knew was too much. I'd have to spend all week on this one thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And second of all, not beating myself up over it. Just saying, hey, that's okay. You tried something new. It didn't work out. We move on to the next thing.
And now you learned something about that.
Absolutely. To never do that again.
Oh, never.
So Ryan, this week for my depression index, I am at a 5.
Spin that wheel, baby.
1, 2, 3.
With your semen.
I don't know what it is with the glasses, but for some reason, when you got those dark shades on, you become so sexual.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Is it because I'm giving you a handy with my feetsies?
You keep referencing my penis, your mouth. I don't know what's happening.
My dick, your mouth.
Yeah.
Tyler, after that, I feel like we need to gay it up. Yeah, let's
It's way
gay it
too
up.
straight in here right now.
Oh my goodness. I used to work at a restaurant and we would have gay Tuesdays.
I remember.
And everybody
remember you telling me about it.
had to act gay on gay Tuesdays and it was so much fun. And then later on, we evolved into heterosexual Wednesdays where everybody was like, yelled at you for what you did yesterday. It was
Nice.
very funny.
That is funny.
Very hateful. Tyler, this week for Depression Index, I literally have left it blank. I always set up this big elaborate thing to speak on, and today, just for whatever reason, I wanted to speak from the heart. So, while you were talking, it reminded me of a conversation I was having today when you talk about don't be so serious. If you tell a kid who is 3, 4, 5 years old, okay, we're going to pretend we are going to be adults. When I snap my fingers, we're going to be adults. What is the first thing that little kid is going to do?
Make a decision for himself that he wouldn't normally get to make, I would assume.
Well, you know what my thought process is? And I heard this somewhere, eons ago. I have no idea where it came from. But the first thing that little kids will do is put on a real serious face.
Okay.
Right?
All right. Yeah, absolutely. Maybe take a certain stance.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think of that puppet that what is his name? Jeff Dunham?
Yeah.
What's his name? The old man, that like really crotchety old face.
Yep.
And I think
Walter is the puppet's name.
as we go through life, I think it's just human to slowly lose your fancy, to slowly lose your enjoyment in some ways. You just start to take things so fucking seriously. And I think that it is our job on this planet to fight that desire. What it could be do you think that that's a human trait or it's just something of this time? Or both?
You mean in terms of losing our playfulness?
Our sense of humor. Our playfulness. Yes.
I think that is just something that happens over the course of our lives, and it is, I guess, to a certain extent, getting easier to remain that way because of how much easier things have been. But you want to go back, 50 years, 100 years? life was hard, man.
Yeah, man.
Life was really hard.
Yeah.
There wasn't a whole lot to be happy about in a lot of respects.
Yeah.
So now we do have the challenges of our time with mental issues and whatnot. But overall, I think it has become a lot easier. You can live your life and be playful and childish if you want.
Well, I think, if I'm understanding what it is specifically that you're talking about, I think that people had these mental issues the same way that we do now, but because of the way that life was set up, you didn't have time to just sit around and think about it all the time. You had to go till the friggin' field.
Yeah, there is something to be said about overcoming problems is what is where happiness is derived from. There is no such thing as getting away from problems. So overcoming those problems, overcoming those obstacles is in itself happiness. So I think what you're saying is true. People did suffer from the same issues back then.
Like a sense of accomplishment.
But them getting up every day at 5 a.m. and breaking their backs to till the field, as you said, there was a sense of accomplishment.
Absolutely.
That we just don't have that anymore these days.
I got this microphone over here that I'm fighting tooth and nail, and I would wring its mother bleeping.
I'm really glad you're keeping such a still face because I know how much that enrages you.
So I think the idea is that it is our job to keep some form of, for lack of a better term, a child's delight in life, this sense of wonder, this idea that it is your responsibility to bring fun to life, no matter what it is that you're doing. And
very good point.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And this week, I did remember to do good quotes by bad people.
Oh, man. We just keep forgetting that.
We didn't
And
this
it's
week,
excellent.
baby.
Go for it.
Who said this, Tyler? Anyone can deal with victory. Only the mighty can bear defeat.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's a
I
good
want
one,
to
right?
say Muhammad Ali. He was a rat bastard.
Yeah, what?
Just kidding.
What?
I want to say Stalin.
One Adolf Hitler, Tyler. Have you ever heard of Adolf Hitler?
He did some things.
Oh, yeah.
He did a few things.
Yep. And that is the Depression Index.
Weird way to end that one.
Really, really great, Tyler.
We're all proud of your
really
self-growth.
great.
And guess what Hitler said?
Yes, well, I mean, hey, good quotes by bad people.
Yeah.
You know, not everybody is all one thing, but he was pretty much one thing.
He was all about one thing.
Tyler, Tetris song. That's a workout banger. That's a workout banger, man. I ended up listening last week, and I just thought, damn, dog.
I can't disagree with
I will
it.
pump those quads. And also, Feliz Navidad. That's a workout banger.
You mean that song with the children that are singing in the background?
Is it children?
Feliz Navidad.
Yeah, for me personally,
Feliz Navidad.
that is one of my
real?
favorite, I would say my favorite Christmas song of all time, Feliz Navidad.
Shameful admission?
Yeah.
Are we still allowed to do shameful? Can we feel shame around music? Are we still doing that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Mariah Carey Christmas song that they play every year.
All
And
I want for Christmas is you.
I love that song.
A banger.
I love that song.
All I Want for Christmas is You by Mariah Carey. That's a workout banger.
I get excited
Fantastic.
every time during this time of year because I get to hear it 1,000 times.
All right, now Tyler, very quickly, we're going to do your international hello, and then we're going to take a quick little break. I wanted to do a quick little update on the mini sesh this week. We talked about the raffle that we are doing right now.
Mhm.
And like everything else, I did it in the most narcissistic way possible. Instead of talking about the facility, I talked about my reaction to selling, which has been a son of a bitch, by the way.
Mhm.
But I know it's good for me. So
Mhm.
Tyler and I are doing a raffle. How could someone who is listening to this right now become part of this, Tyler?
Well, you can go to thoseguysyouhate.com. You can subscribe. You can email us. Or if you want to just send us a payment for a raffle ticket, Venmo or Cashapp at Those Guys You Hate.
And make sure you put your email in the notes
Yes.
so that we have a way of reaching back out to you. Now, let me tell you what it is that you would be donating to. It's a children's crisis center, which is a full-service mental health care for children up to 17 years old, regardless of their ability to pay. This is a center that's being built for kids who have been Baker Acted, for kids who were born, unluckily into situations that weren't like the way that you and I grew up. We talk all the time about our hardships. Bro, we've had it really good.
Yeah.
And this place is And this place is a, 11,000 square foot inpatient facility. It's crisis intervention. It's 24/7 on-call support for these kids.
It is a place that helps all of these kids out with things that a lot of you went through as kids.
But times a million.
Times a million.
Times a million. And it also helps out society, because if we are helping out some of these kids, in a way, we are going to be helping ourselves out in the future, which is all I care about.
Yeah,
Tyler.
but what about me, Ryan? Oh, wait, you said us help ourselves out in the future?
Your car's not going to be stolen by little Timmy.
Back in, baby.
Back in.
Timmy.
Oh, Timmy. We're coming to get you, Timmy. And hopefully he doesn't live in this new country that is new to the Haitian army, Tyler. What you got this week, bruh?
So excited for this one. Guess what, Ryan?
Talk to me, baby.
Spain.
España. We're from Spain, Tyler.
Our ancestors. I want to ride into battle on this.
Nah.
You couldn't march to this?
I mean, which one am I thinking of that we heard last time? I don't know.
Wait a minute. You cannot compare it to, was it Chili's? That was just so, Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico was Enrique Iglesias level stuff.
Tyler, I hate to say this, but that's not a workout banger.
Ryan, not everything needs to be a workout banger in order for it to be a good song.
It helps.
It is home. Let's do some fun facts about Spain,
Let's
Ryan.
go, baby.
It is home to the world's oldest restaurant, Restaurante Butin, which has been serving their signature dish, Cochinillos Asados, since 1725, Ryan.
Can I do a little douchebag drop in?
Absolutely. I was hoping you would.
We've been there.
Woo!
And we ate that shit.
We ate that pig.
But I was really angry at Mikey Menendez, and I just f***ed up the whole thing.
Yeah,
dude.
and, well, not only that, you were coming on strong to your at the time girlfriend.
Oh, boy.
And it was embarrassing.
Listen, that doesn't signify any sort of abandonment issues. What are you talking about?
Absolutely
We're
not.
editing that out.
In many parts of Europe, especially Northern Europe, just like here in the States, they believe in the tooth fairy. But in Spain, instead of the tooth fairy, they have a magical mouse called Ratoncito Perez.
Nailed it.
Thank you. The country is full of festivals. From the morally reprehensible, like the running of the bulls, which those bulls gets tortured and killed.
Keep your politics to yourself, Tyler. At least those bulls get to take out a few people before they go.
That's true.
Right? A lot of bulls just get put down by themselves.
My money's on the bulls.
Yeah, man.
To the incredibly fun-sounding Las Falas, which looks like Burning Man, but it's in the middle of a civilization, in the middle of a city, not in the middle of a desert.
I wonder what that smells like.
Bucket list, baby.
What about that thing where everybody throws tomatoes?
That is another one.
Yeah.
That one looks like it hurts a little bit.
I'm not into that one. I'd rather run with the bulls.
They say that they let the tomatoes ripen past where they get all soft and stuff, but it looks painful.
Nah, dog.
And finally, Ryan,
Yo.
you'll be happy to learn there is no law against nudity in Spain. So you can have those nipples out as much as you want.
I could go into work wearing nothing but my fleshlight.
I don't know about work, and I don't know about sex toys. I just said nudity.
It's not a sex toy. It's a girdle for my dick.
Yes, Ryan.
I'm back. Dylan, get in here.
Please stop doing it.
It's weird when I meet people named Dylan now.
Yeah.
And I'm going to throw this in here before we leave España. España, we're so happy to have you here.
Thank you for joining.
I insulted your anthem immediately.
Yeah, how does it feel to know that we're ancestors? Bitches!
We're hermanos y hermanas. And the fact of the matter is, one of my favorite places that I have ever been to is in Spain, which is Sagrada Familia. We went to this church that's been being built for 200 years by Gaudí, was designed by Gaudí, who died, a century ago, and they're still erecting his plans. That, to me, not just because of the spirituality of it, there's just something about, I loved that so much. The way that they incorporated nature into the architecture, it almost seems like something that the church would have been against at the time.
Yeah.
It was like Wicca.
But Gotti was just so Gotti, so it's just.
Why did you say it like he was a mafia boss?
Gotti.
All right.
No,
Fantastic.
it was beautiful, and it was also terrifying because we went up into like one of those
The spires.
top spire. We went to the top of a spire, and the way you go down is by this very narrow spiral staircase
Yeah.
that has been traversed millions of times probably.
Way too many.
And the steps just go at a slant.
Yeah, it's like you're at a water park. Just pick your feet up and put your butt down and just go for a ride. And I believe that is one of the most dangerous tourism places in the world. Weekend Review. That's so many people fall down that thing.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Weekend Review. That could be a good one.
Put in a railing, people.
Or a little elevator.
Something.
We're talking to you, Tower of Pisa.
And that, Ryan, is an international hello, Spain. Welcome to the Menendez family.
Hola. All right, Tyler, let's go Duolingo so that we can speak to some of these people. And when we get back, we'll chupa a pinga.
There you go again.
Those guys.
Birds do it. I'm not saying that it is wrong.
They seem pretty smart.
Yeah, bird brain. That's what you call somebody when you want to. Wise as an old owl.
And
there.
you want to insult somebody, you call him Einstein. It's calling him a human being is the biggest insult to their intelligence. Bird brain, I say we make it a positive.
You hate.
I know that you're wrong, but I can't figure out how to argue against what you just said.
So I think that technically makes me right.
I think you're right here.
Woo!
I'm bowing out respectfully.
Those guys, you guys.
Tyler and I have been putting together what we're calling the mini sesh. Tyler, what is the mini sesh?
It is the mid-week episode where we barely have to do anything.
Yep, that's it. Just right off the top of the noggin.
Comes every Thursday.
This, much like my youth leader, Garrett.
There it is.
This week, we talked about, spoiler alert, when I used some homemade lotion, really did some damage to my, as doctors call it, my dick.
Yeah, and probably some mental scarring as well.
Now,
that's a difficult situation to get
absolutely.
over.
I've got saffron and cinnamon in my gray matter.
Mm-hmm.
But as it always happens, art imitating life, imitating art. I was at work this week. I was very, very busy, made the most amount of money that I've ever made in one bartending shift. And as I'm picking up plates, running around crazy, I drop a thing of wing sauce. As I'm crouched down, it goes over my jeans, down past my crotch, and literally dripped down my butt crack. Like to clean it off, it looked as though I was wiping my ass.
Ooh, are you
so
trying to get me
sorry.
started? What's happening?
I am so sorry.
Food and a butt crack? Oh,
I have
Lord.
my proof of insurance, officer, if you want me to pull over. So that night, unfortunately, maybe this is a shameful admission, I didn't have time to wash my clothes. So the next day, I put it back on. That wing sauce is all over my pants. Lit my ball sack on fire, Tyler.
Yes.
The one part of my ball sack that was touching my jeans is the very, very bottom of my ball sack, my little baby bottom ball sack.
Please stop saying ball sack.
I'm so sorry about that. It will not happen again. On fire, Tyler. It is on fire with wing sauce.
Yeah.
God's got a little sense of humor, Tyler, and it involves my scrotum.
It's very...
Is that better? Is that better?
Much
if I
better.
say scrotum?
Especially when you say it like that. It is very, very sensitive skin.
Sure.
And hot sauce is not meant to go on sensitive skin.
It depends on how you live, Tyler. The Cajun people love that shit. Let's do this segment.
Don't kill.
But when you do. All right, guys. Now, Don't Kill, but when you do is basically just a segment where I take true crime and I tell it backwards. I'm sorry to give everybody a peek behind the curtain, but it's basically like I'm telling you how to commit a crime instead of telling you how someone got caught for a crime. Not a big deal. But this week, I'm actually going to give you something that is useful, and this is not a joke. I've f***ed around on this segment before and said, if you're going to kill yourself, put the gun to the back of your head and flip the gun upside down to give the cops something to do. That's ridiculous. Don't do that. That would be a really mean-spirited thing to do, and your wife's going directly to jail.
And a really easy way to bleep it up, so now you're just alive with a bullet in your skull in massive amounts of pain.
That's how we learn, Tyler.
Until you shoot that part of your brain out.
That's okay. You didn't need it anyway. You're now, lighter. You're thinner. Good on you.
And in jail for the rest of your life.
And in jail for the rest of your life. But this one is real, okay? If you are questioned by the police, if you are involved in something that you've done wrong and now they're questioning you, or if you're not, my advice to you is, and I'm after listening to hours and hours of true crime podcasts and reading books my whole life, I bring this down from the mountaintop. This is the tablet that I present to you.
Please.
Get a lawyer. Get a lawyer, and I'm being dead serious. People are worried that getting a lawyer is going to make you look guilty if they are or if you're not. One of the main strands that connect these things are people that get in trouble don't have lawyers. Get a lawyer immediately. And whether you're guilty or not, it really could save your life. I'm dead serious.
Well, what's that old saying about the person who represents themselves in court as a fool for a client?
Well,
you should never, ever represent yourself in court.
Well, obviously not represent yourself in court. I'm talking about just being questioned. Immediately The reason that rich people don't get in trouble is because they immediately go and get lawyers who regulate what they say and what they don't say.
They have teams of lawyers, those super wealthy have teams of lawyers on standby.
Like Johnny Cochran. So basically this month, and I'm not even joking around, don't worry about looking guilty or not looking guilty. Get a lawyer. Oh, and by the way, a little bonus tip, don't take a lie detector test. Whether you're lying or not, it can't be used in court. It's only going to make you look bad. Bonus tip.
It can't be used in court?
Nah, because it's not a real test. There's some art to it.
I heard there's a lot of erring that goes into those tests.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
because it's like magic, basically. Don't take that. Do get a lawyer. That is don't kill, but when you do.
Well said, Ryan.
Thank you so much, Tyler. Now, Tyler, I know you've got your bi-weekly segment, GBI. I have a segment too, but I always make you go last. So you go before me.
Okay, we'll do. Ryan, let's get right into our good.
Gay!
Ryan, showing the country.
Was that my son?
Showing the country that strikes and unions can work properly. 10,000 workers walked off the job in mid-October. John Deere, the farming equipment manufacturer, they were on strike for 2 months and won in a landslide case. John Deere had offered them 2 different packages, and they said nay and fought for a 10% increase. First, they were offered 4%, then 5%, a 10% increase on top of
substantial,
a whole slew of different benefits. John Deere workers, good on you.
Now, have they signed this deal already? Because I am willing to be a scab. Is it too late for me to offer my services?
It is already too late.
Damn it!
It has been voted and agreed upon by the majority.
You mother bleepers.
Yeah, you're gonna go in and make farming equipment.
I always am on the side of management. I hate the workers.
I hate you.
Bye, Japanese.
All right, let's just go into our bad. Good for you, union and protesting.
Hey, we love that. People should be paid. I think what we're seeing now more than ever, people deserve to be paid what they're worth.
Very much
Why
so.
do rich people get to keep getting richer, man?
Because they're rich.
Unless it's us.
Yeah.
Well, once we get there, let's take all those tax breaks.
We're obviously going to delete this episode and
for sure
take all the money.
And there's tax breaks when you become a church, right?
Yes.
All right. Let's
Go. Ryan, into our bed.
Let's go, baby. That better be a parent abusing their kid, Tyler.
Aggressive jerk, Ryan.
Oh my
Ryan,
goodness. Check that man's balls.
This is America, and there is no summit we cannot climb. No valley we cannot traverse. No list we can't get on. We're getting into that club.
No precipice we can't run our tongue through.
Absolutely. Sure. Specifically about that last one. No list we can't get on. Not yours. According to the International Institute for Democracy and Electoral Assistance,
I don't trust that.
The U.S. has, for the first time, been added to the list of backsliding democracies.
Wow. That's not shocking, though, is it?
No, in all seriousness, this isn't a USA thing. Democracies across the world have been decaying at a precipitous rate.
How do you quantify that?
They do it through over 50 different
categories,
factors.
Okay.
As I said, democracies across the world have been decaying, but as with so many other things, the pandemic has made it so much worse.
Sped it up.
The 34-nation organization also added that according to them, 64% of countries have taken actions against the pandemic that it considers disproportionate, unnecessary, or illegal.
Such as?
Saying that in terms of certain lockdowns, in terms of certain freedoms being taken away, these countries have been using it to their advantage, much like America did with 9/11. They are able to use this situation in order
Patriot Act, baby.
Institute these horrific things.
Well, wait a minute. First of all, much like I said about the workers in the first round, in this round, you people can't be trusted. You guys, you want to govern yourself much like a baby wants to eat birthday cake for breakfast. You can't be left to your own devices, Tyler, and so we just have to take care of things. I know it doesn't make us popular.
Who is us?
I'm a lizard.
He kept saying we and you and we.
I blink my eyes sideways like Justin Bieber.
Oh, man, that's unfortunate to learn about him. Well, in all seriousness, again, because this is serious, right? We're serious.
Me too.
We're serious. Like
Me
that
too.
kid trying to be an adult. We're serious.
Yeah, scrunch up your face.
The 4 countries that are specified specifically in terms of democracies that are backsliding are the US, Hungary, Poland, and Slovenia. The final fat cherry on this sandwich is this quote directly from the article, and I quote, unquote.
Bastard.
Overall, the number of countries moving in an authoritarian direction in 2020 outnumbered those going in a democratic direction, the report said. Adding that in the past 2 years, the world has lost at least 4 democracies, either through flawed elections or military coup.
Well, this is what you and I talk about all the time. Is it human nature to take? Is it human nature to crave and try to gain power?
Yeah, absolutely.
Communism in theory sounds like a great plan, but it will always then become an authoritarian. Yeah, it's us. It's us. You know, I mean, dude, you think I keep calling it the Haitian army on accident, dude?
Come join our communism.
Yes, I mean podcast. So I don't know, man. It's a scary world out there, and I just think that we have these ideas that as we march into the future, that life is going to get better. That may not be the truth.
Very much so. However, I will say that I think it is a very specific type of personality that goes looking for power. So it is very easy to look at people in power and go, wow, they're all shitheads, which the majority of them seem to be.
Same thing with being a CEO. I mean, it calls on a certain type of sociopath.
That's what I'm saying. I think, in order to become a billionaire, you need to take advantage of somebody.
You got to step on a couple people's heads.
A lot of people's heads.
Can't make an omelet without cracking a few stem cells.
Child workers.
I didn't know how to fix that. Yeah.
So, yes, I think it is within our nature to want more, but I think the people that we see in these positions are the outliers in terms of how much more they want.
I think they're called alpha males, Tyler. And females.
Yeah, sure. They're also called monsters. Let's go into our interesting, shall we, Ryan?
Yay!
Victory Screech!
Is that SpongeBob?
It is. That always makes me giggle.
Love you, SpongeBob.
That always makes me giggle. For our interesting, let's get into the nuanced discussion of pronouns, Ryan.
Oh, my favorite. You already did that joke. I know.
I actually wrote it down here. I was about to do it again. Yay. Thank you for taking it from me.
I'll take that.
Now, I'd like to hear your genuine opinion on this. Parents in Wisconsin filed a lawsuit against their child's school district due to the school allowing students to change their names and pronouns without the parents' consent.
How old are these kids?
It's an elementary school, Ryan.
Wow, that's a ballsy maneuver. Are you asking me what my take is?
Mm-hmm.
While I do believe that is an age where you are too young to make any sort of big decisions for yourself, you changing your name and your I could somehow see that affecting you long term. I mean, it's not like they're legally changing it; they're just changing the way that people address them in school, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And it's just they say to their teacher or their principal or whoever, anybody in the administration, "I want to be called Jeff instead of whatever their name is." And instead of making a big deal out of it, the administration just acquiesced it. We'll call you whatever you want.
I mean, I think that kids being able to express themselves is a great thing, but also, you know, it's like letting a kid dress themselves in the morning. At some point, you got to be like, hey, this could be an issue. Like, I don't know the answer to that. I don't know. I do want to say that I am on the side of kids expressing themselves, but that's just such a young age to start making decisions that could affect the way you think down the line.
You hate trans people, Ryan. Just say it. You hate trans people.
I will not say that into the mic.
You can't see people just being themselves. It upsets you. It enrages you.
I'm totally good with trans people. I just don't know if you should be allowed to decide you're trans at 9 and then act on it. You can decide it and then feel that way. Man, you're putting me in a bad position, Tyler. I think people should do whatever they want.
Pick a side.
I don't care. Just whatever keeps me out of trouble.
No, and that is very much true where you're absolutely right. They are at an age where you have to ask yourself, should they be doing this?
Yeah.
But at the same time, at that age, if you wanted a nickname, nobody made a big deal of it.
I wanted to be called Ace when I was in elementary school.
Nobody, is that true?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank God nobody called me Ace because it'd be shameful.
At the time, it would have worked. Ace was cool back then.
It was not cool. There's a guy we work with named Ace. I'm kidding. Maybe that's your real name. I'm sorry.
There is?
Not anymore.
I don't work there.
Yeah. Oh, goof.
So yes, it is a difficult decision, but when it comes to people's nicknames, I am all supportive for people being able to be named whatever they want.
I am too. And with you, there's no limits. If a 3-year-old wants to be called Dorothy, you
stop doing that.
I'm asking a real follow-up.
No, I'm saying that I genuinely believe that people should be allowed to be called what they want. Whereas, where do we draw the line on nicknames? And it's a genuine question. This isn't a gotcha question. This is me saying, if somebody who is, say my name is Tyler, it is named Tyler, not sure why I'd have to say it.
Yeah, let's say hypothetically your name is
Hypothetically,
Tyler.
my name is Tyler, and I wanted to be called Ty. That's not a big deal. I don't think anybody's up in arms over that.
Sure, but you know where you hear a lot of this is like with Dwayne Wade with his son, who, and I, forgive me, I don't have this in front of me. I believe it was 9 years old or whatever, and he felt as though he was a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And at 9 years old, they started supporting that lifestyle and calling him she and all of those things, which I think in a lot of ways makes Dwayne Wade out to be an incredible parent. But is it possible that somebody at 9 years old makes decisions that they regret later on in life and where they were like, man, I wish somebody had stepped in? I don't know the answer to this.
Yeah.
I'm just tossing it out there.
Yeah.
Hey, you didn't do me favors by letting me at 9 years old make that decision. Is that possible?
Absolutely. But on the flip side of that, I will tell you that as somebody around that age that pushed down their sexuality and those things, telling a kid, no, that's not how it's supposed to be, can also be incredibly damaging.
That's kind of gay.
I understand what you're saying, and there's a lot of suicides that goes into what we're discussing, and I am definitely on the side of making people feel loved for who they truly think they are. So I guess, having talked this out, I would fall on the side of, let's opt on the side of love and hope that it works out for them. Yeah,
bold take, Ryan.
I say with the information that's been presented to me, let's call kids what they want to be called.
Ryan wants your boys to be girls and your girls to be boys, right, ladies and gentlemen?
Pull that thing between your legs and you're whatever you want to be.
And Ryan, that is GPI.
Have you ever done that, the mangina thing?
Of course.
Yeah, me too.
Every kid does that at one point in their lives just to see what it would look like.
Kid? And that's GBI.
That's GBI.
I'm going to do that tonight, man.
That's great, buddy.
Yeah. In support of you, gay kids.
Yeah.
I have my thighs support me in support of you. All right, so.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Over Under. Here is your host, Jeff Flippington.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode for the first time of Over Under. Tyler, welcome to the show, you motherfucker.
Thank you, Mr. Flipperson.
It's on at 11 p.m. on Cinemax. I can say whatever I want.
That's an intense welcome.
Yeah, sorry about that. I have been doing loads of meth. Hollywood is a son of a bitch, Tyler. All right, so this is how it's going to work.
You look fantastic.
I thank you so much. It just keeps my flesh hanging from my bones like a Hollywood actress. I am going to give you a fact, Tyler. You are going to use the sound effects I have provided you with to tell me whether the actual data is over or under. Everybody gets it. I don't have to keep explaining it to you. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Here we go. Tyler, it took 75 years for the telephone to reach 50 million users. It took the radio 38 years. Television, 13 years. The app Angry Birds reached 50 million users in 3 months.
I'm going to say under, Ryan.
Is the true number over or under?
I'm going to say under, Ryan.
That's not going to be on there. You're just going to hit the button that says under.
Under.
And that is correct, Tyler. That is right. Angry Birds reached 50 million users in 35 days. How about that?
That's crazy.
That's pretty
man.
crazy, isn't it? Fuck you, Steve Trabajo. Tyler, are you ready for number dos?
This guy's got his tentacles and everything.
Oh, man. You're thinking of the porn that I watch on my MacBook. In 1987, American Airlines eliminated 1 olive from each salad served in first class. This small act saved them $1 million, Tyler. Is the true number over or under?
Over.
Sorry, Tyler, that's the way the game is played. It was only $40,000.
Oh, that's all?
That makes
That's it?
a lot less impressive, but I want to win. Think about that. 1 olive annually saved them $40,000 in 1987.
That's like
$3 trillion now, Tyler.
It's like what McDonald's did. They took 1 slice of cheese off of their burgers and they saved them millions of dollars.
Never been the same. Those burgers are trash, and that's why I love them.
You know that's not true. I was going to say.
I mean, the reason you like their burgers is because they're so bad. Am I
That's
right
true.
or am I
Yeah,
wrong?
That's true.
Fact number 3, Tyler. The average high school kid today has the same level of anxiety as the average psychiatric patient in the early 1920s. Is the true decade over or under?
I'm going to say under, Ryan.
Sorry, Tyler. The average high school student today has the same level of anxiety as the average psychiatric patient in the early 1950s. Now, what do you think that is? Do you think it's just our ability to quantify anxiety, or is it the technology? How could that be true? Kids just be crazy?
You mean because of how bad it is right now?
I'm asking how that claim to be true.
But I'm. Do you mean in terms of how they figured out, or the reason why it's so high?
Both of those.
I don't know
Why
how
would it be so high right now?
Because yes, definitely because of technology and because the problems that we are experiencing these days are nowhere near as bad as they were back then. So we have to create new problems for ourselves, and unfortunately, our brains are taking care of that.
Let's all go back to Amish culture and finally.
No, I like my technology.
No, Tyler. Human memories can be so easily manipulated that in just 10 hours, you can be convinced you committed a crime in your teenage years. Is that number over or under?
I'm going to say under.
It is, Tyler. You can be convinced you committed a crime in 3 hours. I didn't believe this, so I went and looked it up and found correlation, Tyler.
Wow.
What do you think that is? Just the human memory is just so easily...
Shite. It is shite, Ryan.
Well, it's the way they ask you questions and stuff. It really scares the piss out of you and just makes you want to admit to crimes that you haven't committed yet. And that is over under.
Yay!
I feel like my heart's going to come out of my body, Tyler.
That music is like the Tetris music, where it just gets your blood flowing.
I think what you're trying to say is that segment music...
See you staring at me.
That's a workout banger. And I'm going to have to agree with you, Tyler.
Yeah.
Great job this week, Tyler.
Thank you,
I am
buddy.
particularly tired. How can they get in touch with us, Tyler?
THOSEGUYSYOUHATE.com.
That sounds so interesting.
1,000 times already.
So easy.
Go do it.
Let's go.
Yeah, just go to THOSEGUYSYOUHATE.com and subscribe on all your screens. Click all of the buttons.
Or else Miss Tiddy will find you. Tyler.
Really?
What is...
that's an advertisement if I've ever heard one.
Just unsubscribe. Tyler, what's the moral of the story, bro? Great. I know I already said it, but great job this week. I had a lot of fun. I haven't seen you over the last couple of days, so it's nice for us to come down and commune. That's one of my favorite things about this show is that it brings us together.
For sure. And I just didn't want to come and get my germs all over you while I've been sick.
Moral of the story.
Oh. Ryan, for this week's moral of the story, I am going to go ahead and say the theme is pat on the back. Don't be scared to pat yourself on the back, guys. It's great to get acknowledgement and congratulations and celebratory vibes from other people, but don't forget to give that to yourself. When you finally do something like I told
Absolutely.
you, those small victories, be proud of yourself and say so out loud.
You and I talked, I believe it was this week, but perhaps not. All those recreational drugs have really left my brain a mush.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you and I talked about to-do lists, and you said, I think that to-do lists could be a really good idea.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm addicted to to-do lists.
Everything.
Much like meth. And the fact of the matter is, it's not just so great because it helps you whittle down what needs to get done. Also, the act of crossing things off of a to-do list is a burst of chemicals.
Sure.
It makes you feel good.
Sure.
It's celebrating those small victories visibly.
Well said. You're absolutely right. And then if you don't get through that to-do list, you can just set it on fire because you probably wrote it on a piece of paper.
Absolutely.
Burn something down.
Like my urethra.
What? Dude, go get that looked at.
I won't.
Stop bringing it up to the Haitian army.
My orthodontist asked me to stop coming in. His mouth. You say the thing.
Ryan, what's the moral of the story?
I love wiener jokes, Tyler. My moral of the story, to take this thing full circle, we don't make fun of people. I think that a lot of times I find myself saying, I don't really like talking shit about people right as I'm about to talk shit about people. And we say all of these things, and it's time, I think, that we can. Did we make fun of Miss Tiddy? I think maybe we did. Did we?
No, how?
I don't know, by playing her music in a sophomoric, poking fun type of way.
Well, they're very different lyrics, and I was dead serious when I say it. I'm very interested in her music.
Okay,
now.
good. And when I heard it, it was something unlike what I was accustomed to, and I wanted to bring it up. And I also celebrate that Tiddy for doing what she loves and putting herself out there, because that ain't easy. Any type of art, whether someone likes it or doesn't like it, it's not easy to put yourself out there.
Well, if it's art, somebody is going to like it and somebody's not going to like it.
Not
so
us.
that's
Everybody
just
loves
the way
us. Everybody.
Sure.
Everybody. We are those guys you hate.
Be kind or we'll kill you.
Red circle.
Ryan is dressed like the outcast member of the Blues Brothers.
I'm dressed like the blue member of Outcast.
I could tell this is going to be a good show.
Da-po-dee, da-po-die, da-po-dee, da-po-die. I'm in need of a dime. Tyler. Hold on, let me get out here, man. Let's see. Am I ready for this?
No, you're Greg codying me right now. You're just talking into the microphone and not listening to a word that I'm saying.
Yes. Last week, we
Wonderful.
talked about the guy from Seventh Heaven, the dad who was also a preacher.
Pedo.
You remember him?
I do remember.
And
it.
in his own words, he was forced to acknowledge that he had done pedophiliac things.
He had to reconcile with his actions.
Sure. I'm unhappy with this.
Mm-hmm. Life in general? You're talking about the light in front of you, the
Yes,
microphone,
I am.
the decisions you've made up to this point?
Would that whole situation with that guy have been as outrageous if he did not play a priest on TV? Does that factor in that his character that he's most known for was a priest?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
So what about the guy from Ferris Bueller? Do we make as big a deal about him? That the principal was also a child molester.
I think of him as the dad from Beetlejuice, but yeah, you're I
never seen it.
You've never seen Beetlejuice?
That's right.
Wow.
We could play this game a million
Wow.
times.
Those guys you hate army, sick 'em.
Yeah.
Sick 'em. It's a great movie.
Fuck you guys.
There's my first bleep of the show.
There it is.
I think they're both just seen as pedophiles. I don't think one is seen as more of a pedophile than the other just because of the role he played.
I want numbers.
And the reason why I say no so emphatically is simply because I think we're just used to it at this point with, I feel like I'm talking about this every week, the Catholic Church. Lots of priests out there.
What did they do?
Are pee-pee touchers, Ryan.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Apparently praying to God means you're playing this world smile. That's a good sign for what's to come.
Yay.
Apparently, it's a temple for pee-pee touchers.
Really?
Yeah. And the baby pee-pee touchers, not even like gay stuff.
My youth leader Garrett was Methodist. So
stay away from them too?
No. Go to him.
Got
soft touch, soft
Mhm.
hands. Speaking of the church, Tyler.
He's probably in the Boy Scouts of America right now.
He did look great in a sash. Someone who saw me perform my original wedding has reached out and asked me to perform another
Are
one,
you
Tyler.
serious? Have you learned nothing, people? Have you learned nothing?
The sinister minister is in.
Are you so desperate? Are we short on officiators?
I'm average. It is.
Who is it?
It's my side hustle. It's just it's just a sister's fiance of a friend of mine, somebody who I don't know.
Well, that person is stupid.
No. They're very well informed.
They got you to officiate their wedding?
Not yet, because we have not substantiated my incredible price.
If you're listening to this show right now, first of all, stupid move. Stupid move.
Listening to the show?
Listening to the show.
Okay, good.
And second of all, congratulations on your wedding. I mean, that's awesome.
Yes.
Could not be happier for you.
And as you can hear the way that I've reviewed weddings on this show before, you know that I will handle it with the utmost delicacy.
He's a big fan.
Absolutely. Now, the thing is, I love the idea of me being a minister as my side hustle. Some people Uber, some people rob banks. I'm the sinister minister. But so what I was thinking is, if I wanted to turn this into something that I could actually work with, if I wanted to make the next step into really turn this into some cash, baby, because what is the church all about if it's not about cash?
That's
Tyler?
true. That's true.
I need to come up with some sort of a minister rap name. Like I can't just go by Ryan Menendez.
I mean, Sinister Minister's pretty good.
Yeah, I feel like that's taken. What about this? What about a more the merrier?
A more the merrier.
Yeah, it sounds even better when you say it, Tyler. A more the merrier. What do you think about that?
It's terrible.
Yeah, you're smiling and making
because
me
of how ridiculous it is.
All right. It would look great on a business card. What about
Oh, I can't disagree with that.
JB Beavis?
JB Beavis.
No, JB Beavis.
Beavis.
JB Beavis. What do you think about that?
It's fun to say.
Okay.
I will say that, but
Good start.
But admittedly, it's not very romantic.
A more the merrier. Okay, and
A
finally,
more is a little bit more romantic, but it's also dumber.
what about very interesting?
That's just terrible.
That's just fun.
That's terrible.
That's just fun. All right.
Are all of your names you just taking words, then you change the V to B? Is
A
that what
more the merrier.
Oh, my
Tyler.
fault. My
Yeah.
fault.
And finally, Tyler, speaking of church, but then speaking of ministers, now speaking of the Bible, bestseller, Tyler, New York Times #1 bestseller. I've been reading it. Have I mentioned that to you?
Yes, and you've shown it to the neighborhood and everybody who will listen.
Much like my wiener. And the thing is, I have found a spot in the Bible that deals strictly with romance, Tyler. Romance, assumably between a man and a woman. You got to imagine.
I mean, of course.
Nonetheless, well,
Of course.
the only right way.
Absolutely.
But I wanted to share a little bit of this with you because I think that this is going to it's going to introduce you to the Bible in a way that you're unfamiliar with. Are you interested in that?
I am interested in what you're
I'm going to do it
interested in.
anyway.
Yeah,
It truly doesn't matter.
I know you are. At this
It truly
point, I
doesn't
just
matter.
have to pretend like I'm invested in this so I can just get through it.
I appreciate it, Tyler. Let's dive dick first into some Bible porn. How beautiful you are, and how pleasing. Oh, love, with your delights. Your stature is like that of the palm, and your breasts like clusters of fruit. I said, I will climb the palm tree. I will take hold of its fruit. May your breasts be like clusters of the vine, the fragrance of your breath like apples, and your mouth like the best wine.
Woo!
Steamy. It is steamy in here like an orchard in July.
I know it's not one of the 10 commandments, but I'm wondering what the rule, or at least the viewpoint from the heavens, is on reading parts of the Bible as if it was smut.
Thou shalt not covet your brother. You know what I'm talking about? I see how you're looking at me.
I'm sure that's in there.
Is it the Stevie Wonder get up? Here, look at my little window.
It's hard. I think that's going to be offensive to somebody.
Well,
We have this track record, ladies and gentlemen, and you wouldn't know it because we edit so meticulously.
Do we?
But you wouldn't know this. Ryan is actually the bombastic one on the show. He is the one who says the most outrageous things.
That's right.
But the moment that we go to edit and we re-listen to it, he's like, no, we can't. And he immediately goes into apology tour immediately after his joke.
I don't think that that's fair.
Okay.
In terms of, we let a lot go. Anybody who's listened to this show knows that we let it fly. We don't hold back. There are things that I worry about coming back to haunt us in the future, not because we're hateful people, but the way that we put things sometimes really make it feel that way.
Yeah, Ryan made a domestic violence joke.
I did. I did. I mean, what the hell else can I do? I did.
Well, it was more of a reference, really.
And we edited it. We edited it.
Mm-hmm.
We edited it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a joke about Chris Brown and, and Rihanna.
I was going to give details. All right.
And we deemed it inappropriate.
Well, you deemed it inappropriate.
Well, you were laughing about it like a fucking schmuck instead of.
Because it was funny.
But here's the way that the show works: a little peek behind the zipper.
Peek behind the offenses.
When one person says something stupid, the other person is supposed to be the voice of reason. We can't both be stupid. Then we just seem like a-holes.
Oh, we are called those guys you hate?
Right, but that's satire, baby. That wasn't satire. That was us, and we didn't mean it. We knew how.
Stop saying we. You said it.
You were laughing.
Oh, yeah, no, I definitely laughed. He delivered it very well.
You were the getaway driver, Tyler.
It's well said.
Let's do the show.